Hi, and welcome back to Rick's Room. This is the show where we try to emulate the end of a busy conference or any kind of event where you've been running all day and not having a chance to sit down with the people you really want to talk to until finally, at the end of the day, that you see them coming across the room and you can finally visit with them. That is the feeling I get every time I talk to Mike Harris. Mike, that's why I always ask you so many times to come back here. Thanks for being with me today.
It's always fun, Rick. I really appreciate it.
Now, as usual, I have no idea what you're bringing to me today, but I know I'm going to love it. So tell me what's been on your mind.
Okay, so I've got a little special guest for us today, Rick. As I coach youth sports as a volunteer for many years, and I asked one of the players I worked with for many years, Connor Gleason, to join us. He's got a lot going on. He just graduated or finished his undergrad, and he's in grad school, and just wanted to talk to him and see what's going on and see where he's going with things. So Connor, welcome to the room. Rick's Room's always been fun for me, and I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. Excited to be here.
I was saying, the fact that, we worked together for a long time. I know your ambition, going from high school, working with the high school, then becoming a starting point guard, D2 basketball, no small feat, incredible player, incredible person, very driven. So, Connor, as a recent graduate, I know you have a lot of ambition as it relates to kind of the things you're doing on the side, as well as your ambitions related to your degree and going forth in the world. And I was really interested to hear what you had to say. And what are your thoughts? I mean, your first impressions, you've just graduated, you've finished up an incredible athletic career, and I know you got a lot going on the side. Talk to us a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's definitely been a shift because my whole life, as you know, you've worked with me for a long time, it's just basketball, right? And just trying to take the things I learn and the concepts from hoops and apply them into something I truly care about in the same way that I cared about basketball. And one of those things is film for me, and I really enjoy telling stories and the feelings that I felt while I was playing basketball, taking them and really putting them into a video that resonates to me and hopefully to others, and just kind of convey those higher values of what I learned through hoops, whether it was hard work or discipline or being present or staying focused or locked in, and trying to put those in a story, like a film.
See, I taught you well. Go ahead.
Well, now it makes sense, Connor, because earlier today, Mike sent me a really awesome video of a basketball camp. And I'm thinking, what are we talking about here? But it was so good. Is that something we can share with people in the show notes? Because I understand now that was your work.
Absolutely. Yeah, that'd be, well, first off, I appreciate you watching it. And yeah, absolutely. That's something that I created. It was a video on a youth basketball camp. And I was blessed. My buddy allowed me to make a little documentary on it. And the essence of the camp was kind of to teach the higher values of basketball. And the format or the medium was like through a youth camp. And so I filmed the content for it, edited it, directed it, produced it, and then put it out. So something I really cared about, and it was fun for me.
I want to know a little bit about the history of you two. How did that happen?
So Coach Mike was he was coaching one of the teams at Capo while I was there, and I believe you guys practiced at night a lot, and I was just in the gym a lot at night shooting by myself, working on my game because that was my passion. I cared about it, and I don't remember the exact moment, but I saw Coach Mike. He kind of came up to me and said, "Hey man, let me know the next time you shoot. I'd love to come shoot with you." And so that was kind of the spark. And from there on, it was just as often as we could get in the gym, we went, and Coach Mike was just willing to just completely give his time, never charge me a dime to rebound or shoot with me. And, was a incredible influence on not just my hoop career, but who I am as a person. And I just really appreciate Coach. Obviously you're right here, but just for Rick, like your support and guidance. And, my last game as a senior, you were there. So that stood the test of time, and just grateful to have you on my path, man. It's been
I
awesome.
love that. Now, Mike, I know you as a CEO, not as a coach, and I know how you pick people for your team in the business world. What did you see in Connor that made you think this kid's worth putting some time into?
Work ethic. I mean, there was a little bit of, I saw a little bit of me in him. And point guard working. He played the game a little bit like I did. He was a better shooter than I ever was, but I wanted to just say, hey, if I know it gets boring shooting by yourself. So I said, hey, let's I'll shoot with you. Let's go shoot. And there's a little bit of competition. Let's see if I can outshoot him and that type of thing. But then it just grew from there, where I saw where he wanted to go with things. And he talked to me about it. And he talked to, specifically what his goals were related to high school, college, etc. And then we talked about life on the side as well. And I saw all that, and something I wanted to get a part of, something I wanted to support, and got to know his parents really well. My wife, got to know his parents as well. And, we wanted to support that. So kept doing that. And then it turned into not just at night, but during the day. We would go in Saturdays and Sundays, an empty gym, and just work for a couple hours. And, he was always like, how much more? What's next? What's next? And there were times I just made stuff up, just because I knew he could do it, stuff that was really, really hard. And he'd just say, give me more. And really loved being a part of it.
That's great. And then you took that on to college, right, Connor?
I did. I did. College was an interesting journey for me in terms of like playing. So coming out of high school, I was like, I was, if the shot clock was winding down, they'd throw it to me and I'd go and get a basket. And then college was kind of the opposite. I went from being the guy that gets the ball at the end of the clock to the guy sitting on the bench and is kind of like the last person to get called. And I chose that, going into Concordia as a walk-on, and having to pay for school. But I always kind of realized like my dream was like within my heart. And I knew that if I followed it and trusted it and pursued it, like it was going to happen at some point, or it was going to work out greater than I can ever conceive, whether I played or not. And so just kind of as I grew and spent more time playing the game, like, okay, year one, I didn't really play, but I was still working at it. And I was seeking out resources to kind of, help me get through this stuff. And Coach Mike was one of the people that I still shot with all the time during that. And then second year, still didn't really play. But after that season, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna channel this work ethic that I've learned in high school and all that, and still keep going. Told my coaches, hey, I want to start. I want to play here. I know I'm capable of it. And funny enough, the next year, once I claimed it and said it out loud, things started to happen in my favor. And a couple guys quit the team. And then now all of a sudden I have an opportunity to play. And then I kind of was ready for it and ended up playing, starting the last couple games. And then I started the last 2 years of my career and earned a scholarship, which was the dream that I had talked about with Coach Mike. I don't know,
Many times.
7 years before that. Right. So, that's kind of my journey at Concordia and how that all high school paralleled and seeped into college.
I'll tell you a specific story is that it's one of those days on a Sunday, we're working hard. We're about an hour and a half into our workouts. He wasn't getting a lot of time in college. I talked about, mine not getting a lot of time in college when I played college ball, saying just keep it up. And, he was kind of whining a little bit. And I said, hey, man, are you playing college basketball?
Yep.
Yeah. And I said, shut up and go back to work. And that's,
So
and that's the gist of it. Not a lot of people have that opportunity. Connor obviously earned it with his perseverance, but and his talent, obviously. But never take that for granted, right?
Yeah, I vividly remember that. That was a great point, because it's like I got so worked up in what I didn't have and what I was lacking, and then you were just like, that snap back into reality of like you're doing your dream, what you set out to do. You just got to keep going. So that was something I'll always remember.
Yeah, this is great, guys. It's amazing how fast our time clock ticks down when we're doing one of these shows. But Connor, I don't want to let you get away without finding out how you look at the world of business from your perspective. Mike and I have been in it for a while. We understand the value of a person that understands how to play on a team, make his spot on the team. We get that. But what we may not be so up to speed on is how are you looking at the opportunities the world is presenting you now? What are you looking for as you move out into the business world?
Well, can I
Yeah,
interject, Connor? Can you talk
yeah,
just a few seconds about, your undergrad, why you chose that degree, what you're doing in grad school, and how that's
Good
preparing you for
question.
your next steps?
sure. Yeah. So I chose finance as my undergrad degree. I would have chosen film, but practices practices got in the way with what the film course was like, so I had to choose finance. I just wanted to understand a little bit more about how money worked, so I could be better prepared for the world. And then my graduate degree is just an MBA, so Master's in Business Administration. And I really want to prepare myself and surround myself with resources that can help me get to my dreams of in business. And I don't know, I feel like whenever I come up with a plan, life always has different ways and takes it a different direction or a better direction. And I guess right now where I'm at is I love films. I love making them. I have a brand that I started in college called Through It All, and that's like the name that I do all my production work through for films. So for me, Through It All was kind of discovered in a time where I was really struggling with, you know, life, and I felt kind of down and upset, and it was more like a community where I could just say, hey, whatever's going on or whatever you're experiencing, like you can still go through it. You can come out of it stronger than you were before. And so with that, having that kind of brand experience in college, playing around with it, and then as I take that through my MBA course, what I really want going into the world, to kind of get to Rick's question, is like, I love film. I love telling stories. I want to produce them on a big scale one day, whether that's YouTube or streaming platforms or however that works. But I think, making low budget films with what I have and just getting used to telling stories, I really feel like um, that's at my heart, and I can create an impact as I move forward in the business world.
You bet you can. That's great. All right, Mike, any questions to kind of wrap us up? Because we're
Yeah. So, going forward, it's always a double-edged question is, what are your greatest fears, and what are what excites you the most right now moving forward? In other words, obviously there's always apprehension starting out in your business life, finishing up college. I mean, you got college and your activities right now, but moving
Yep.
forward, what makes you apprehensive? And the other is, what really turns you on?
Yeah, great question. I feel like the most challenging thing, I wouldn't, I don't know if I'd say challenging, but like sometimes you'll hear things or see things just from whether it's online or something, someone will say something or you read about it and it's like, this is super challenging. This is going to be very difficult. It's impossible. This person failed. And I feel like it's pretty easy for those things to kind of just infiltrate anyone's head and be like, oh, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this is a little bit more challenging than I thought. Maybe I'm biting off a little bit more than I can chew. But I think the biggest thing, the biggest opportunity that I'm seeing is like the quicker I can just come back from this is going to be too challenging, it's going to be really hard, to back to that alignment of like, I know in my heart I'm capable of doing whatever I set my mind to. And it's not an arrogant way. It's just something I truly believe. Like I saw it in college. I know what's possible when you just trust in, I'm a believer in God. So like just trust the path that's written before you. And all I have to do is just kind of receive it and live it. Even if it's not going according to plan at that moment, it's kind of in alignment with God's plan. And that's a gap for me to just continue to trust my path and what's like the dreams he's kind of placed inside me.
It's interesting, Connor, is that that's what I've seen in you since the day we started working together, and that's why I'll know you succeed. Everything you just described is everything I've seen since we've been together the last 10 years or however long it's been, and I'm excited to see what happens.
I
Connor, this
appreciate
is
that.
great. I'm really glad you've been on the show. Key takeaways for me:
Yep.
get a good coach, do the
Hmm.
work, keep taking those shots,
Hmm.
have a vision.
Hmm.
And even if that vision is just there to help you get through it all,
Yeah.
have the
Yep.
vision and then have the faith to push through it. Well done, man. You are right at the beginning of your journey, and we got to track you. So
Mm.
we're gonna keep our eyes on you. We're gonna put some links in the show notes so people can find out what you're doing. And I hope you'll come back and talk to us
Love
again.
it. Rick,
Rick's room's always an open room, buddy.
I would love to be back. I really appreciate you guys taking the time. I know the time clock is ticking, but Coach Mike, always appreciate it. Rick, awesome meeting you. Love the show. Would love to be back. Thanks, man.
Take care, guys.
Okay.
Thanks,
bye.
guys.